like dark and light. I'm yours, you are mine. Tell me, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? You're my strength and kryptonite. Promise I'll let you cry. Screaming, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? You're the yin to my yang, as if nothing ever changed. Something hoping we'll get to hang. Guess I'm gonna make you my babe. No, it's funny how fate sways, giving different sparks some new flame. Straight up healing all this pain away. Make it feel like I got the month of May. We're like dark and light. I'm yours, you are mine. Tell me, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? You're my strength and kryptonite. Promise I'll let you cry. Screaming, what do you want from me? What do you want from me?
What's up, Flames? This is a test live. Yes, getting ready to start coming here and uploading the videos here on the Hotly Johns Experience. Just wanted to make sure everything was working. I know ain't nobody watching, so any lurkers out there who try to say, oh, people talking to empty rooms, I ain't thinking about your ass. I'm trying to test my page and test my game to make sure that I'm going to be coming through, man. Okay? So shout out to all of y'all out there in the midnight hour and sending love and light out to my Cali fam. Hoping everything is good with y'all, man. Making sure that everybody's out there safe. Make sure you stay ready so you ain't got to get ready for when the storm really starts coming through. Yeah, but it looks like everything is hooked up correctly. Y'all know it's usually Sip and Stir Saturday. I usually do on the podcast, but I'm going to start doing it here on the YouTube channel, the Hotly Johns Experience, making sure that I spread the mustard to help y'all catch up. You feel me? Talking behind my little old avatar right now. I want to add my new avatar. That's one thing I know I'm going to have to change here. Was fumbling around so long. I know it's real late, but it's not late out there in Cali. It's only 11 o'clock, and here it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, just wanted to make sure that everything is linked up. Sip and stir, baby. I want to sip and stir on a couple of topics. Was want to try to wait and see if anybody's awake out there that can. I should have added something in here, some little tags to make y'all see that I'm out here. Okay, but I'm gonna just talk a little bit just to test out the sound and everything, and then I'll do a playback. But one thing I did want to discuss is how they basically played in Tyler Perry, Paramount Studios with this bullish about buying BET. I just want to let y'all know. And this can we sip and stir? Can we sip and stir? Let me let y'all know real, and this is the real deal, Holyfield. If y'all thought, and including myself, let me start myself, if we thought that they actually were going to give Paramount Studios was going to give BET, Black Entertainment Television, to an actual black man when they ran Steve out, sadly mistaken. There was no way in hell that they were going to allow a black man, especially a black man with the power that Tyler Perry has, to get BET. Okay, they'll let him put all the shows on there. They'll let him put all his movies on there. They know that he has a lineage. He has a reputation. They know that once he got it, it was going to go beyond the money that they were charging. They put that price tag out there, I think, to see who's going to bite. Who's going to bite the apple? Because soon as he said, okay, I got $2 billion, here we go. Let's get it. They put it out. And of course, they're going to put it out because they want to see exactly who's out here that would actually be excited about Tyler Perry. How many people would be excited? How would the viewership change? Because for a while they were saying that the viewership of BET had gone down, it was going down the drain. They were blaming it on programming. Some people were blaming it on the way that they were handling it. Other people blamed it because Deborah Lee had left and Steve had left. Well, Steve left, gave it to Deborah Lee, and then we heard that she pretty much stepped her way to the damn top, and she was damn near clear. You feel me? So she was almost, clear view. So of course everybody was saying, well, of course, between allegedly sleeping her way through and then being clear view, they would give it to you, okay? And then once she left, everybody said pretty much, well, they actually said that she ruined it once she got it because it started being an agenda and all this kind of stuff. Women, and it started going away from, I don't know. I don't know if I want to think that way, but she took off all the video shows that were there in the BT After Dark, which, to be honest, y'all, that was getting a bad rep anyway, because that was, the naughty videos, music videos that were coming on. Revolt TV did that too. I don't even know if they do it anymore. Revolt After Dark. And I think eventually they didn't do it anymore either. And it just makes me wonder about all the shenanigans with just not BET, not just Paramount, but alcohol. Okay, let's get into the shenanigans of alcohol and ownership. Okay, they have you out here thinking that Ace of Spades is all Jay-Z's, De Leon is all, and Ciroc is all Diddy's. Who's another one that they had you out here thinking, I don't even want to say you. When I say you, I mean us. We all thinking that these brands were actually owned by black men, because black is the vibe. So black is the vibe, and they say urban, but over here you're going to realize once you guys start rolling in and listening to how I put it in, okay, that I'm just going to keep it real. That's all I know how to do. And I stay 10 toe down on my shit. If you don't know, listen to my podcast and you will know. Okay. But black owned has a vibe. Black owned has a tag that's priceless. When you say black owned, it perks up ears of all races, not just the black race. See, a lot of times we don't realize how powerful we are of a race, that you had a whole family starting with the mammy, and y'all know where I'm going with this, the Kardashians, to misappropriate damn near all of their lives and to attach themselves damn near all of their lives to black affluential men, black rich men, the black culture, black women, the lips, the eyes, the face, the shapes, what they felt emulated the essence of black. Okay, and shout out to Essence magazine that are finally on, is giving them some love and talking about how they've empowered and influenced over the years. That print was it. They were right there at the top with Vogue. I know Anna Winters is still there and all of this, but Essence was right there. Y'all hear that thunder and stuff? It's storming here in Florida too. I said last night on my podcast, on the audio version that you can get on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. I see a lot of y'all are starting to catch it on Amazon Music. Make sure that you follow it on Amazon Music as well. iHeart Music, check those out. And anyway you listen to your podcast faves, you can catch my extended, more explicit version of what I'm going to give you here on the YouTube, okay? Because we know YouTube has triggers and have words that they don't like, and we got to try to keep it a little bit clean over here. Not saying that I'm, so brash that I don't know how, and I don't have a vocabulary. I have a vocabulary, but we have fun. We're adults, okay? We get down. So When you listen to the podcast, you'll see a total difference. We're able to do our music and everything over here. I had to get a little theme song for me to come on that's, not copyrighted, or I should say I have permission to use, so I won't get a copyright strike. Let me say that. It is, but I got permission to use it so I don't get a strike. But anyway, the essence of black builds brands. Oh, that's a word. Let's sip and stir. Let's sip and stir. The essence of black builds brands. And people don't realize, black people don't realize just how much we've built brands all our lives before us. Our forefathers built brands. Okay, we built a whole pancake industry. We built a whole rice industry. We built a whole pancake syrup industry. Okay, cooking industry, because little known black history fact is soul food is the original American cuisine. Sip and stir. Sip and stir. That's the shenanigans of it all, because they come with all these different little meals and they try to throw all the shit together, and they do it's an infusion of French and European. No. Soul food was the original, and I think the only American bread cuisine. Sip and stir. So it's okay for us to have the influence. It's okay for us to promote, as long as it's not owned by us. And once it's owned by us and we're making waves, you're always going to have some of them that's going to want to join in to swim. And then as soon as you invite them to say, okay, well, come on into my pool and you can swim, we can all swim together and ride the wave. Eventually what they do is they drown your ass and take over the whole pool, and then try to sell water to your ass when you had a whole ocean. You had an infinity pool. Infinity. Y'all know what infinity is? Something to be infinite. That means beyond. It's timeless. It never ends. Infinity. And beyond. Yes. I went Woody. Yes. Infinity and beyond. And we had the infinity pool. And one by one, sold out to the man. He snatched it, took over our plan, and then kicked us on dry land. Can we sip and stir? Can we sip and stir? So, was I surprised that Paramount then boosted the price after they said they made a deal, and they started making waves by allowing the press to put it out that they'd come to a deal for Tyler Perry to buy BET? No. Then when they upped the price after, they up-jumped the boogie. Okay? They up-jumped the boogie. They said they were going to take it to $3 billion. Okay. At first, everybody was like, damn, why they, are going to tell him $3 billion after they said $2 billion? Okay. Tyler got it, ball out. Tyler thought about it, and he did like any businessman would do. We're going to turn into a venture, just like the guys were putting their money together to buy the football team. We'll get into those shenanigans too, because Magic was crying and all of that on there. But at the end of the day, it's almost like what they offered Jay-Z with the Brooklyn Nets, what Dwayne Wade is to, I think it's Dallas Mavericks. And we all know why he didn't go with the Heat, because he caught heat in Florida because of what he did with his child. Can we sip and stir on those shenanigans? You would think that a team that not only builds their players, but they build their players to be businessmen, to ultimately work somewhere in business or somewhere within the team structure, or in their whole conglomerate, their whole team structure, the business office. It's almost like you get when you retire from the mob and then you become like a counselor to the young ones coming up. Not saying that the Miami Heat's tomorrow, but I mean it's something to that effect. That once you get through playing ball, they're like, you can always come into the office. You can always be, you know, um, work in player development. We can always have you going out there and solicit players, going and visiting the different, and a lot of their assistant coaches. You can come and do assistant coaching work and go out into the wild blue yonder and eventually become a head coach because, make no mistake about it, Miami Heat's organization is into development, teaching, and then fly, bird, fly. Okay, so, but that all being said, it didn't surprise me that they went up on the price after a while because it made the rounds of press. It made the rounds of black press. It made the rounds on Instagram. It made the rounds on Twitter. It made the rounds, and the more rounds it made, everyone was anticipating like, yes, oh, we're going to see the top. We already seeing Tyler Perry. I can just imagine what he's going to do with the channel as a whole. Because trust me, Tyler was with OWN and with Oprah, and the reason he left OWN, out of his own words, maybe not verbatim, but his own words, basically was because they were going away from the type of programming he wanted to develop. They, quote, quote, OWN, said that they were starting to develop programs. He wanted a little bit more say in the programming and in the actual channel, because OWN was damn dead in the water before he got there with Have and Have Nots and several other shows that he put on OWN. Okay, and then OWN started giving y'all the Sugar Show, which just recently ended, and a couple of other shows that really emulated it and it simulated the blueprint of a Tyler Perry show. Can we be real? Can we sip and stir on Shenanigans? Can we sip and stir? That's what they actually did. It's like, hey, we could do this. And they started making shows that looked like it was a Tyler Perry show. Then they didn't want to give him more say-so in the development of the programming. He wanted a bigger role. They said no, and then he left. Let them keep Have and Have Nots because they were still under contract. That's when he went over to BET. And he was like great to do the venture with BET and all of that, and then eventually, and see, this is the thing too. And I hate to say this, Tyler. And Tyler, if you notice, it happened with you with the production company for your movies, and then eventually you started doing you had your own production company. The days of being hired to do one job and then gradually being promoted up the line to a bigger role are gone. If they hire you to be the secretary today, they expect you to be the secretary 20 years from now. There's no more, you've learned so much as the secretary. First, you were answering phones. Then they taught you how to schedule appointments accordingly. And now you're answering phones and you're scheduling appointments. Then they come to you and they say, wow, you do such a great job with answering the phones and doing appointments. Now we're going to show you this to help out the HR manager. Would you mind? Because you're so great and you're so personable and professional and well-spoken. We would like to have you to do the orientation with our new hires. So it's only going to take a couple minutes of your time, because when we look at it, you're sitting there between 10 and 2 and the phones aren't really ringing there, but X amount of times. We can put that on for anyone in the office to answer in case someone calls, because you're only getting X amount of calls during that time frame. But we'll schedule orientation within that time, so you can do orientation within that time of the new hires. And you go, great, because you're learning. So you get very excited. So now you went from answering phones, setting up business meetings. Now you're doing orientation of the new hires. Oh, you'll feel great. You feel important. You feel like you're learning and you're developing, because the more you know, the more you grow, right? Which is true. Okay, because you can place these skills on your resume and go somewhere else, but you're not thinking that. You're thinking you're here with this company. You start off answering phones, then you step. You know when they ask you, you took on making the appointments. Then when they ask you, you took it on doing the orientation, and now they have the controller who does the payroll. This is in like a little small office setting. You know, the payroll hasn't yet moved up to the corporate office. It's still in office. So they say, hey, you know, we only hire but so much out the year. So you don't really have that much orientation to do between 10 and 10, only when we have new hires. But when we don't have new hires, would you mind helping the payables department by paying some of the bills and the receivables? Some of the vendors are going to be calling. You could take those payments and you don't even have to move from your desk because they're going to be calling, and you take those payments, and then we'll have them give you some of these invoices that they have at their office, and you just go ahead and write this on the expense report, and you go ahead and submit that so we can get those paid. The water company, the lights, and whatever vendors, depending on whatever business you're in, whoever the vendors are. And you go, sure. So now you've gone from answering phones, making appointments, doing new hire orientation, and now you're doing accounts payable and accounts receivable. Now, on top of that, they've asked you to apply to expense reports. So you're applying the monies to the expense report, which they have these codes for each account. So if it's like office supplies and you're paying that vendor, then that goes into account number AZ456. Okay. So you have to make sure that you put that on there, or you type that in there, depends. Okay. Because I'm sure nowadays, of course, it's everything on the computer. So you put that in there and you plug those numbers in, because that's all you're doing. That's what I tell you. It's all you're doing. You're just plugging the numbers in so we know that we have an accurate accounting of what's coming out of our office supply account. And that includes, your coffee, your letterhead, anything that has to do with office supplies, cleaning supplies and all of that. Now the water, and that goes to a specific company because they get the water delivered from Deer Park, for the different offices. And you're going ahead and you're going to put that on BC123. So you got AZ456 for office supplies, BC123 for your water vendor, and then you have your utilities account, and you go on and on and on. So now you've gone from answering phones, you've gone to doing orientation. I'm sorry, making appointments, doing orientation. Now you're doing accounts payable, receivable, and now, whether you know it or not, you just learned general ledger accounting. You are applying all of the monies to the appropriate account so that it comes out accurately, because each department has a set amount of monies that they have for spending budgets, and each one has a set amount of money that they pay for whatever expenses are for that particular department. You following me? Yeah, I think y'all get where I'm going with this. So now, as a secretary, you're thinking, wait a minute, I'm kind of big shottish here. I'm not just any secretary. I'm doing all of this stuff, so I should be able to get a raise. Now you get an appointment and you want to go in for the raise. Raise? You're tapped out. We pay only up to $14 an hour, $15 an hour for receptionist secretary position, and that's the position you're in. And you say, oh yes, but I'm also doing orientation, and I'm also, I schedule your appointments, I do orientation. Yes, and we've revamped the duties since you started here. When did you start here? 2019. Okay. And that was 4 years ago. Yes, sir. 4 years ago, and I've learned this and I learned that, and I have this part of my new. Okay. And yeah, we revamped that position to include the following duties. Now, when you look at their description of that position in the company, it says every damn thing that you've been doing or that you've been learning over this time. In other words, you ain't moving no damn well, because we figured out by you beta testing our ideas that you could actually do this in an 8-hour period because you got the time, that's all included in the position as a secretary. Now, if you wanted to move over here because we got an opening in the accounting department, well, actually, you would need an minimum of an associate's degree, 4 years in the business of accounting. You run an accounting department, and you're like, just to be an accounting rep, accounting clerk, I have to have one as a requirement too. And I just learned here. So how does that tie in? You say, Kiwi, how does that tie in with Tyler? Tyler came in providing programming to own, developing programming. So it was collaborative, I could bring, he brought his talents to own to help big it up. And he brought his ideas. And everybody who knows Tyler does it all himself. He writes it, produces it, directs it, prints it, put it out, film it. He does it all. Cut, he edits, he does it all. He don't have a team of right around him. He is the damn team. So his mind is a wonderful, beautiful mind because he creates all of these things in his head and he brings it to life. The set, everything. So he brings that to on, and now that I'm putting all of this talent on the table, I'm doing all of this for you, and I'm helping to revamp your station. And now that I want to move up into some type of ownership of own or partnership, you say, well, Tyler, actually, we were just discussing this in the meeting the other day, and we came to the conclusion that, everything that you're doing is in your job description. We came up with that, 2 or 3 years ago after you started, because look at all that you were accomplishing, and we had only hired you as a contributor to own. Now, you want to be Mr. Big Shot, you're welcome to leave. We're still on the contract with your shows. You can still be a contributor. But as far as moving any further than that into actual ownership, no. So he goes over to BET. He let his shows ride out until the end of the contract. And once they rolled out, the end of the contract was done, it's over. Now he's at BET, contributing. So it's almost like it was a lateral move. He got a little more money for it, but it was still lateral. And let me tell y'all something, what I was taught in corporate America, because I went through that whole situation, and that situation I described to you about the secretary and the this and the that. Yeah, that was me. Until somebody sat me down and told me, girl, you're doing general ledger accounting. Girl, you are literally the assistant to the controller. Girl, do you know you're doing you're doing expense reports? You're doing what? Do you know that's not secretary work? You're doing this. Do you know how much they pay them? And I was like, what? They tricked me off? Yeah. So when Tyler now wants not just to be the member, he wants to be the owner, like the hair club. I'm not just a member, I'm the president. He wants to be the president. They tricked him off. Oh, okay, $2 billion, you can have it, Tyler. He said, oh, $2 billion? I'm Tyler Perry, bitch. Do you know who I am? Do you know how many plays, movies, TV shows? I'm the reader for Will Packer. Here you go. You only $2 billion? I bought a whole corner lot that was owned by a damn slave master and turned it into not just my house, but my house in the sets for several different shows that I'm doing right now. I ain't even got to do nothing. All I got to do is I am the original remote worker, bitch. I'm the original remote work at home person. I literally get up, put on my robes, sip me some coffee, and I could go right over here next door to this house and start filming my TV shows. Then I could go over here to this next house and film my upcoming movie. I'm Tyler Perry, bitch. I am the remote worker. And you gonna tell me 2 billion? Like did you just are you kidding? Here you go. Slap the checkbook out. That's it. Wait a minute, Tyler. Let's okay, you can pay for it today, but let's just um let's go ahead, and we got some other paperwork we got to get together. We'll come meet back here and say 60 days and make sure that this is exactly what you want to do and exactly what we want to do, and then we'll just go ahead and finalize it then. Release the press. Now release the press so you can get the press, because you want to see if there's going to be any takers. Anyone? Anybody else? Anybody else? Here, 2 billion, do I have 3 billion? Do I have 3 billion? Okay. In the backdrop. Now he come back 60 days later. Tyler, great. So excited that we're in this venture together and that you're willing to get this off of our hands. And it's just going to be a great opportunity for you. And I see, with everyone that's been talking about it, like it's going to be greatly accepted, and everyone's very excited to see what you're going to be doing with the channel. And we thought about it, and we came to the conclusion that we just love BET. The things that we've accomplished with the channel, it's just been a great move for us. And it's not only just business, it's very sentimental to us, because this was our first venture out with a predominantly Black programming channel, because we're Paramount. We have the CMTs and the MTVs and the VH1s and the Just Beguns. We have all of those, but for us to have succeeded the way we have with the BET venture, we've come to the decision that it's come to the point where we just can't let it go that easily. We were thinking the value of it is well over 2 billion. So we're thinking, if you're still interested, since we, before we sign, we want 3 billion. What? But you said, in the original contract, in the original terms, and yes, and we totally get it. We totally get it. And that's exactly true. All of that was true. But, after we thought about it and we got with our partners, we just felt like we just can't let it go that, it's BET. I mean, it's a wealth of content that you've contributed to us, Tyler, and and we know that you can just take that and zoom along with that venture, and with your talent and the influence you have in the industry. Oh, there's no ends to what you can do with it. I'm sure you will make it hand over fist beyond $3 billion. $3 billion to buy the station from you, a station that has fallen in viewership, a station where you turn the awards, Ratchet City, the station in which you playing Baby Boy. No offense to Baby Boy, but you're playing it like 2 times a day, and you're playing all of Martin's seasons multiple times a week. Which is great because they're getting their residuals. But do you know that I literally have to revamp this entire channel? I have to, it's on life support right now. You're doing it, and we totally know that, and we get it, and we get that you're the guy to do it. You see all of the wealth, and just what you just said, you see all of the value that's in it and what can be done with it. And so we yes, but we've come to our final decision, yes, Tyler, that we just can't let it go for $2 billion. So $3 billion is what we're asking now. Now, if you totally agree with that, that's great. We can go ahead and complete this today. Okay. And then it's yours. Of course, we'll still stick around for the first, 36 months, just to make sure that we have a clean change, switch over to you. And if you have any questions or anything, and of course, we're going to own, part of the programming that's already been on there. And of course, because we did list those programs on there, if you continue to run them, we're going to require a percentage of the residuals from those. And of course, Okay. So he looked at him like, okay, you playing in my face. But I am Tyler. I have connects. Let me get with my connects and see what they do. So he went and enlisted Byron Allen. Now, for those of you who don't know Byron Allen, I want you to get to know him. Have you ever been up late night when people was watching TV and seeing Comics Unleashed, Byron Allen show, comedy.tv, stand up AOB 123, the Weather Channel? Yes, you heard me. The Weather Channel. He owns the Weather Channel. He is a media mega monster. Byron decided he was going to join in. Byron Allen sued McDonald's, and that's still being worked out. He's suing McDonald's, and I covered that on my podcast. Make sure, Heidi John Experience podcast on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music. Make sure y'all check me out. But Byron Allen also sued McDonald's because he exposed the fact that McDonald's was being racist in the backdrop and discriminated against Black media markets, giving them smaller market budgets, and in the bigger markets was not including urban marketing at all, because they like the word urban, Black marketing at all. Can we sip a stir? So what happened with him? He probably looked at that thing and was like, look, Tyler, I could join in with you on this venture, but dog, the ends don't meet the means. At the end of this venture, after we put in $3 billion, even with your movies, and he started calculating your movies, your TV shows, and then they talk about they're going to take residuals from all of that because they already had that on here. We're actually in the hole by 1.5. They were already hitting you across the head for the 2. That was a stretch. And now they're going to put it on 3. And they only give you how long to decide? Hey, man, first they gave me 60 days. I was supposed to come back and sign for it. But now they're telling me, we can meet back in 30 days to see what my final decision is. Man, go ahead and call it. Before he could even call it, they called it. The deal's on the table. We decided we're not going to sell BET after a while. We're just going to keep it for ourselves. This is a test. This is only a test. That's what that was. And when they realized how many people were talking about how they were going to start back watching BET and how they were going to get involved with BET Plus and all of this, all of a sudden, they don't want to sell anymore. Deal off the table. All of a sudden, when they realize Tyler ain't no fool, and Byron ain't no fool, and none of the other mega media monsters, Black mega media monsters out there that they talk to, that they confer with, that they confided in to get some advice, to see what they thought, that they consulted with. Absolutely not. Bruh, they playing in your face and they tapping on your head top. Run while you can. And before he can run while he can, they made a decision for him. I think that we should all boycott BT at this point. Tyler, we waiting on you to get your own, pun intended, network. Because if you got $2 billion to give their ass, and then if you got the likes of Byron Allen willing to go into business with you, who has his own channels, the Weather Channel, bro, this man owns the Weather damn channel. Get your own network, again, pun intended, and snatch sisters, because baby, I need my sisters. Snatch the Oval, I need my Oval. Snatch the show that my son loves to watch, Meet the Browns. Snatch all of those shows that you got on BT, snatch them. and put them on your own network. Hell, go through Roku and get your own damn TV network through there. Unless it's some kind of damn politics with that. Because I think it's politics bullshit because Tokyo Tony was talking about that. And I know that you could run that. And that's on a Roku. You know how many people that don't have cable right now that watch Tubi and all that stuff? All they have Roku, so they have all these apps and shit they on there they can watch it on. Hell, buy Tubi if you were going to buy a network. But at this point, I don't think Tubi, if you did, you would more than likely have to make people pay. I think you should start your own network. TPTV. Okay? TPTV. Run. A Couples Retreat was just on tonight. On what? Did you say VH1? Owned by who? Paramount, Viacom, and all these motherfluffers. If you're going to spend $2 billion to buy something, and I get it, the infrastructure and all of that's already added, the audience is already there. I get it. I get the math, but that math wasn't mathing. You Tyler motherfucking Perry. You don't need to buy them with already the infrastructure. You have an infrastructure. Hell, you got whole sets on your land. The Oval is filmed in this house. The Half and Half Knocks was filmed in that house. A couple of people filmed in this house. This movie was filmed in that house. You are Tyler motherfucking Perry. Start your own network and snatch your programming from BET. I'm sure you were smart like you were smart when you were on OWN. That contract is coming to an end. And with actresses and actors right now, SAG is everybody are still under strike. And rightfully so. Because these big companies, big mega media damn companies and directors and producers and all this shit, they're taking all this money, taking residuals from overseas. You got the lady that was in The Nun that was talking about how she didn't even get paid on merchandising for The Nun. They want shit on merch too. They like the singers and the rappers. They want to get paid off for the merch too. They're not getting paid off for anything. When you have an actress that comes on and tell you that they got a check for 67 cents, it puts you in the mind of what happened to New Edition. It really does. It really puts you in the mind of that. So I think that this was a blessing and not a curse. I think that this was an actual test. This is only a test by Paramount just to see what would happen if it was announced that a black man was buying BET and what the response would be. And they got the response that they did not expect. They did not expect it to be like it was, where people were like ready to come back. And they're like, oh, so they really don't like us. It's really him that they like. But, you know, the things that he was doing or those ideas that he pitched to us, we'll just do something like OWN did and do our own version of that. But if Tyler snatches his shit right now from BET, it's a wrap. He even had that crazy show that I don't watch. My son watches it. The one about the occult. I can't remember the name right now. And that's on BET Plus. Where the guy that it started part of the Oval, Reiki or Roku, some crap. I don't know. Because I don't watch it. My son watching it. I don't know. Stuff like that. I don't want to get it into my spirit. I just can't do it. I can't. I do not want to get that into my spirit. But understand, those were some shenanigans. Let's sip and stir on that. And cheers to Tyler Perry and Byron Allen for being the smartest niggas that we know. And that's Negus, the true N-word. the true N-word. Because they were not fooled. After they realized the game that was being played, it was a wrap. Cut. So, and I want to get into one other shenanigan that's going on, and I'm going to end this test live. I think everything's working good. Hopefully, when I play it back, it sounds good. But I want to get into Keke Palmer, Darius, and Usher. I want to say this. Those of you who think it's so great and she did so wonderful by taking it by the reins and being a woman and calling her shots and all this crap, you're basically just gaslit her to be a single mom and have a child in a broken home. Really? Really? I find that very interesting. Very interesting. Because we talk about keeping the black family together. We talk about not having your children brought up in a broken home. And me personally, and unfortunately, me and my son's father, my two boys, we broke up. It wasn't nothing cute about that shit. It really wasn't. And it took a lot. Infidelity. Thank God it had nothing to do with finances. But infidelity and just not going to bring my children up in a toxic home, in a toxic environment. A lot of you guys, and well, a lot of you ladies, I should say, a lot of you people are saying that was toxic because he got on social media and he was saying this and he was saying that to her, even though he said that he approved of the outfit, and I was one of them that said too, like, I didn't understand why you were posting her if you felt like she's a mom, but you posting her on your social media and slapping on the ass talking about all this is mine. It's almost like with Moneybag Yo taking a picture of the what's her name, Ari, butt ass naked on the beach or by the pool or something, and talking about some niggas just think that I have a lot of niggas ain't living this as an ordinary life or whatever he put on her, and everybody thought it was disrespectful because he literally posted her new, and yeah, it was disrespectful. And then a lot of people say, oh, well, that's his and he just showing off. Okay, it's yours and you showing off, but then when she showed off on her own, now you got a problem with it. You just want to be the one to do it. That's like pimp mentality. I'll put my hoe out there, but I want my hoe to put herself out there type shit. That's really? Okay, cool. So now, when that happens, you have that response come out. But people miss something. Her being turned around. If let me put it like this. Your dude goes out. Sexy red. Who pussy pink and booty hole brown. Go and grab him out of the audience. Sukiyana, go grab your dude. Some of y'all might say it's cool. But if he there, or I ain't gonna even say that. I'm gonna say this. Chance the Rapper. How about Chance? When Chance the Rapper was at Carnival, which I'm one of them, I'm admitting it, You can look on my, because you'll see it on my social media when I responded. It's carnival because my culture is Bahamian. So you're gonna have them humping on the ass. You're gonna have girls butt ass naked in costumes. That's just what happens at carnival. It is what it is. It's culture. But him being a married man and out there, literally, this girl is. If he had his pants down to there, they basically would have been having sex right there, because that's how in there she was with Chance. That's how in there Chance was with her, and we ripped him to shreds, rightfully so. Because even though it's carnival, the wife was like, "Okay, yeah, I don't mind, the culture of carnival, but first of all, sir, you're not even Trini. You're not even Bahamian. You're not Bayesian. You're not, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you from Chicago, niggas. And you so into the culture that you really gotta be up into her crotches like that, into the bottom and the bottom wall. Really? So when you have that situation, now you think to yourself, huh, how does that compare to Kiki, Kiwi? I'll tell you how. Because Usher wasn't all on her like that. Turning her around, looking at her as Usher is Usher, baby. Yeah. I know that's Trey, that last part, but I did that for a reason, and those who know. Because if you hiding in closets when it come to Trey, your ass should have been hiding behind that seat when it came to Usher. The Usher say, "Don't leave your girl around me. True player for real. That's a nigga for real." You smell that? Okay. Now, Usher still got his woman. I think they got 2 kids now. This is the latest one he got. He still got his chick. She ain't going nowhere. And he's serenading everybody. Let's compare Kiki to Saweetie. Saweetie stood up there, never took the shades off, popping her gun, rocking side to side. Sweetie said she learned her lesson from watching Kiki. You not gonna have YG up on me about no damn song talking about boo and baby. He said, "Oh, you just gonna be standing up there all cute and don't want to sing, or you too cute to sing with me?" And he started singing, and she said, "Baby, real dry, baby. You ain't finna get me, Usher. Because when you get me and mess up my happy home, I got to go home and deal with Mr. Charlie. Your ass going to be going right on home with your woman, counting bank and laughing." Now it comes out an article that Darius has stated that you can parent your child and not be in the home, leading the public to think he's no longer in the home, that he is now gone. He comes out with a statement, and in the statement, he's stating he ain't talked to nobody about nothing and about nothing on nothing, no nothing. Meanwhile, Kiki came out with a whole t-shirt line, blind to the bullshit, or blind like Stevie Wonder to the bullshit, or whatever. Mommy monster, or whatever it is. Can we sip and stir? Let's sip and stir. And now a video pops up called Boyfriend. Listen to me, congregation. With Kiki starring in the video with guess who? None other than who? Say it with me, class. Usher. Very good. With Usher. Now you have a troll. Why you say that, Kiwi? Because I don't believe unless it comes out, they got to come out and Jesus got to come down on the cloud and stand by beside them and say, yes, it's true. I approve this message. That Kiki literally is no longer with Darius, making this video with Usher. Then she got to put a post out to Usher about being a 12-year-old little girl, how she used to watch his videos and always not looking at him as to be with him, but looking at him as that's what she wanted to do for a living. Now, prior to that, she came out and saying she fluid. Can we sip the stir? I guess she water. Oh, I forgot. It's 2023. She's fluid. That means she's freaky. That means she's a fucking female and a dude. I got it. Got it. So she comes out. She's a great mother. She comes out with the mommy t-shirts. He's defending himself. You know, this is my home. This is the mother of my child. You know, this ain't got nothing to do with y'all or whatever. Then everybody's attacking him. Then she comes out and she's performing, and she performs this line that's been in this song that she had out for the longest time. And she get real loud and turned up with singing this line about she get checks or whatever. She went around a man, she get checks or some shit like that. And everybody freaking out because I'm like, okay, but that's an old song. That song been out. And now y'all talking about, oh, she throwing subliminals in the song when the song was already out. Then you said, then it comes out this ex about Darius leaving her to go with Kiki because Kiki got the money, and then y'all calling him the babysitter. With a lot of y'all out here wish the baby daddy would come and sit with your ass, much less the baby. I said what I meant. You wish that the baby could see him sit for 2 seconds and not be one of these weirdos that's out here that you're forcing them to keep the child, and then all of a sudden they talking about they got robbed at gunpoint and somebody done took the child, and now this motherfucker is arrested for murdering the child because he didn't want him. Or one of these weirdos that, oh, he was babysitting and the child drunk his Kool-Aid, so he punched him in the stomach and bust up his, you know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all wish y'all had a man that was willing to stay home and say, okay, babe, go out with your girls and have a good time. I'll be sitting here waiting to put it in your life when you get back to the crib. Now, she makes a song, Boyfriend, with Usher. She's in the video. Looking a little more masculine than I've seen her look over the years. Almost like a masculine-ish Aaliyah. Then a statement about Darius said that he can father his child without being in the home. Then a story about Darius saying he wants to have the child, he wants to have full custody. Then even in between all of those stories and statements, you have resurfaced clips. I love that word. Those words. Resurfaced clips of Kiki talking about she just wanted to hit him up, quit him up. She didn't know that she was going to find true love and a baby. She just wanted somebody on the list, on the hit list. Somebody she could hit up out to the club. Y'all know what it is. We all grown. So you have all of that. And you don't think they're trolling us? You don't think this is a whole, we got to keep this going because all publicity is good publicity in Hollywood. If you don't want to believe it, let me give you an example of some shenanigans that we got trolled for years, and then it finally came out in the end. Can you say Mimi, Stevie, and Jocelyn? Sip and stir. Mimi, Stevie, and Jocelyn. Mimi was with Stevie. Stevie had this artist named Jocelyn Hernandez. Shout out to Jocelyn, our fellow Florida girl. that's supposed to be his artist, but he was fluffing around with her. When reality TV was reality. So we thought. Because for the most part, that shit was reality. But there was one part of the whole situation that was for the TV. And that was Mimi not knowing about Jocelyn. Oh, she knew that was his artist. But she didn't know that they was fluffing around. Did y'all forget the last season when it finally that they was on there, that it finally came out per Jocelyn? Oh, you want to keep it out of it, real, Mimi? Since you want to talk all that shit, and you got all in the social media, and you talk about you was gonna keep it real. You want to expose? You want to tell the truth? You want me to expose the truth? I slept with you already. Me and you slept together in the bed with I was like, what? Sip and stir. Did we forget? Sip and stir. Sip and stir. Did we forget? Mimi and Jocelyn had an already scissored, visit, lap, slap, and tapped each other's ass. They had already done it. But they were on TV making it look like she was hurt to the core. When Stevie was out here rolling with Jocelyn. She's even recently come out and say how he used to drive her fucking Benz down the street to go visit Jocelyn and then come back. And y'all honestly gonna sit here and believe that Kiki, I ain't really even want no baby like that, but I took it, Palmer, from homeboy's brother who ain't even in the industry, and he is the babysitter that's sitting at home and that she can trust while she go out here and get this check and put in this work. Y'all honestly want to believe that we ain't being trolled? That they ain't making money off this shit? Chris Brown and Usher had a whole bang 'em slang 'em, and they were both sitting up at a damn concert 2 days later. As a matter of fact, 24 hours after, Usher was sitting up there talking about, I got a pretty face, nice waist, I'll see y'all Sunday in the place. Then you had Chris backstage, supposedly shutting down a fight. You mean to tell me he was allowed to come there even after he had jumped on him with the whole Tiana Taylor fiasco? That Usher baby, don't leave your girl around me. You playing for real? Usher nigga for real? Usher who was fucking the bridesmaid and the maid of honor within weeks or months of being married to Tamika. That Usher? Come on. Sip and stir. Shenanigans. I don't believe you. You need more people. We are being trolled. And that's what I think. I don't think that Keke Palmer and this dude, she even said it in one of those resurfaced clips that they love to say, resurfaced clips. Resurfaced clips. This is a test live. Thank you for joining. Hope the sound is good. Resurfaced clips where she said she wish a girl would come to her and tell about her man. Oh, for real? And what your man was doing? He was calling somebody too? She said that. So that type of person, she said she's Stevie Wonder to anybody that will come to her to tell her anything about her man. And you're going to sit here and think that we couldn't possibly be getting trolled? Let's ride the wave till we can't ride it no more. because everybody's paying attention, everybody's listening. So let's give them something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. I really believe that's what it is. So we're going to keep an eye on it because I think it's a bunch of shenanigans. Sip and stir on the idea that we might possibly be getting trolled by Kiki Akila W. Palmer and her baby daddy. If we're not, it will be a shame that we have yet another broken home that a child's being raised in the Black community. Like I said, being the prodigal one, and my children, unfortunately, me and their father split, and we were married when they were younger. Luckily, we were able to co-parent effectively and all that good stuff, and they have a great relationship with their father and yada, yada, yada. But it doesn't beat the father being in the home, and it doesn't beat you, staying in the pain as long as there's no infidelity or abuse happening, which I don't think that was happening there unless they already had problems, and then we won't hear about it till later. But to compare Jocelyn, Mimi, and Stevie, who we thought the whole time that he was wronging her when they had a whole threesome going on. At one point, her and Jocelyn hadn't got down. But that was never brought to the limelight for this purpose of the show. Mimi was the hurt one, and Jocelyn was the villain because she was the side bitch that was with Stevie. Until it all came down, because Jocelyn got tired of being blamed for everything, when in fact, her and Mimi hadn't got down. So keep that in mind the next time y'all think about Kiki, Usher, and Darius, because we know she ain't got nothing going on with Usher. And a lot of these niggas out here would have been feeling a way too if that's Usher, because y'all know how Usher get down. That's just what that is. But I don't think that should have broken up a home. And if it did, that's on Kiki. Let's just think. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. We can't just say, Chance was a hoe and he was this and he was that and he shouldn't have been doing that. He got a whole wife, but Kiki had a whole brand new baby and was looking good. Okay, she had a little snatchback. She was feeling herself, but she had cakes out, everything big. And think that man was not supposed to have a certain feeling about that. You can sing with Usher, do like Sweetie did, sit up there and rock with it, roll with it, and don't get all up and back it up on them and all this and turn around and come on. It's called respect, y'all. Y'all gotta respect your man. A lot of times, and everybody's talking about, oh, shut up and be the babysitter. A lot of y'all girls, y'all gotta stop that shit, because that don't hold a man. Just because you have men out here, Kevin Hunter, hello. You have men out here that females was taking. Wendy was taking care of this nigga, and he had a whole bitch that he was taking care of with Wendy money. Stop thinking, oh, sit down, shut up, because you're getting paid. Sit down, shut up, and be the babysitter and all of that. Ladies, that's the shenanigans. That's the shenanigans that the Burning Bronze damn people made y'all think. I am woman, hear me roar. No, I don't want a damn roar. I want to flip some damn pancakes. I want to fry some chicken and serve my daddy up and let him pay these damn bills. Sip and stir. I don't want to. I want him to be the man and I'll be the woman. I want to be the helper. That's what I was born to be, the helper. He's the man. He's in charge. It don't mean abuse and all this shit that y'all thinking. No, that's a whole different situation. And if he's there and rearing it, per the Bible, he's supposed to rear the child anyway. Do y'all know that? Sip and stir. The world shenanigans has everybody switched around. Sip and stir on those shenanigans that they have y'all believing. I am woman, hear me roar. I have my own bag. I have my own house. I have my own car. I have my own bed, and it's empty. Because a real man's not gonna let you keep throwing that in his face. And woman, let me tell y'all something. Let me give y'all some free game. Do 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 do. Free game alert. Let me give y'all some free game, ladies. What you do for a man, yeah, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of him in that manner, nurturing the relationship and nurturing your man. Yes, he loves that. How you treat him. But what you do for him and give him, you can't buy that. Because Wendy thought as long as she was making the money, he can go out there, he gonna mess with girls, but he gonna come right back because I'm Wendy. Because I'm the one with the check. I'm the one with the show. I'm the one, and she was the one that's gonna probably be somewhere in a home with a bunch of like cats, like she said she used to joke around about, but now it looks like it's coming true. And I love Wendy. She's the reason I got into this shit. I love Wendy. But because she was paying, don't mean that he'll be staying. You have to treat a man with respect. It's how you treat him, how you love on him. That's what make him stay. Just because Keke Palmer is Keke Palmer, that man can get a change. He's not. I don't see that with him. As my mom say, a sweet back. He don't like a sweet back dude to me. You have sweet back dudes that's gonna be playing the video game, taking your car, to go and meet somebody else that's making him, go out there and get it, staying on his behind and saying you got to go get it, and he gonna try to go get it, even if he got to get it from you to give it to her, because she's making him man up, and he thinking that's the only way I can man up because I ain't got it for myself right now. And then you got the little sweetback motherfuckers that ain't trying to do shit, that but be taking care of our woman. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the man's man. So y'all keep that in mind. While all of y'all love with the little comments I'll be seeing on Instagram, and I'll be making my little comments to y'all, keep thinking that man was not going to be sunned and played on social media over and over and over and over and over. He stood up, he said, I'm standing up for my family. Some of y'all might not know about that. He did that. But Keke was wrong. And I really think that she knows she was wrong. She went home and she handled that shit. But she said, hey, let's ride this wave. I could ride the wave and get this paper. And he said, okay, boo, let's ride it. That's why he was quick to come out and say, I ain't talking to nobody about nothing. So I don't know what y'all talking about full custody. And I'm going to, I'm not going to be with her. I can take care of the child from outside the home. And I believe him. Because I believe they're trolling our ass to make as much money as they can off of the situation. It's a money grab. So I hope, and shout out to Brad Wilson, who stopped through and checked on me. Brad, this is just a little test run to make sure that this live is working and the sound is good. I can talk behind a little avatar. I'm going to change my avatar. And then, of course, I'll be on camera for Fun Fluffy Friday. After For the Real Only, check that out. That's the IVDA. Okay? IVDA for only. Okay? For the Real Only. Make sure that y'all check them out Friday Night Live on that YouTube channel. And check out the podcast, the Hot D John's Experience podcast. That is on all your favorite podcast platforms. That's on Amazon Music. Shout out to y'all for listening on Amazon Music. Appreciate y'all. Got a little boost in listenership, so I appreciate that. Had to put y'all first. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and everywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. Get into it. We discuss under the radar news and the hottest topics in pop culture. We get it in, and we talk about some under the radar news that y'all can use, but they're not telling y'all. We put you on the game, man. The Hot John's Experience. We spread the mustard so you can catch up, baby. And I'm your girl, Kiwi 305-954. First show, kick it in the front door over here on YouTube, bringing y'all something different, something fresh, and something new. Okay? So without further ado, this is going to end my little test live. Thank you, Brad, for stopping by. Make sure that you share the live and let me know in the comments when you hear it on the playback what you think about our shenanigans that we sipped and stirred tonight, which was Tyler Perry at Paramount. He was the winner of the chicken dinner. Okay, it was a blessing. No stressing. And also the Kiki Palmer, Darius, and Usher fiasco, which I think is a troll. Put your comments down in the comment box. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. It's the Hotly Johns Experience, y'all. I love experiencing with you. And I think I'm going to roll on out with my little song. Until the next time, peace.
That's fire, Jacoby.
Feel like dark and light. I'm yours, you are mine. Tell me, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? You're my strength and kryptonite. Promise I'll let you cry. Screaming, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? You're the yin to my yang. As if nothing ever changed. Something hoping we'll get to hang. Cause I'm gonna make you my babe. No, it's funny how fate sways. Giving different sparks and new flames. Straight up healing all this pain away. Make it feel like I got the month for me.